भरतरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसूक्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वदाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। वंशीविभूषितकरान् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरातरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखादरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णाः परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। अज्ञानाञ्जाह्नवीतीर्थं विद्यातीर्थं विवेकिनां सर्वेषां सुखदं तीर्थं भारतीतीर्थमाश्रये। विद्यागणयसम्पन्नं भीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं विद्भुषेखरभारतीम्। हरिः ओम्। Namaskaras to all. So, for the past 1 week, we've been totally into the Charitram of Bhagavad-Padacharya through the eyes of Vidyaranya, that is through Madhurya Shankaracharya, and of course through the eyes of Shankara's stotras by themselves, because through the slokas of Viveka Chodamani and also through the slokas of Acharya, that was done on most of the uh, devatas, the devata kshetrams, the Shankara Vijayam can be seen. One moment. Called, uh, we can continue. So we've been seeing the Shankara Charitram through the eyes of Shankara Stotras only, that too especially through the Vakyas of Viveka Chodamani. So now, without further ado, we would continue with the Charitra. Acharya, as we saw him yesterday, was in Shringeri. And we also hinted a story that Padmapadacharya, who's had uh, a pinch of regret in his heart for giving the opportunity to Sureshwara to compose the Vartikam, especially on the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So Padmapadacharya had in heart that Sureshwara being a Karmakandi for all these years in his life, he might have the vasana of being a Karmakanda Nirata, meaning he can take a direction in which a ritualistic mindset of him might have an impact on the Bhashya. So what Acharya did was, he called Padmapada and confronted him, to which he readily accepted because fact is a fact. He immediately told that, yes, I had a small disturbance in my mind. So I was not happy in Sureshwaracharya being given the work. So Acharya immediately told Sureshwaracharya to write an independent work that comes to his mind. This is where we stopped that particular incident yesterday. Now, after a few months, so I started and abruptly ended it because we should give Sureshwaracharya some time to write a grantha, right? We just like that cannot tell. So in the meantime, few months have passed, and Sureshwara one fine morning came to Acharya. He submitted a grantham that he has written. Acharya took the text and opened and started reading. It was a profound Vedanta grantha. Even a Vedanti who has been a Vedanti all his years will not be able to compose such a work. And even till today, that work is appreciated and read by all Vidwans under the name Naishkarmya Siddhi. It was written by Sureshwaracharya himself. Vedantodara Bharti Bhaswadamalam Dhwantaschidam Vasvidayah Divyam Jnanam Atindrayepi Vishaye Vyahanyate Nakvachit Yono Nyaya Shalakayaiva Nikilam Samsara Bijam Tamaha Protsarya Virakarshid Guruhu Pujyaya Tasmai Namaha. Naishkarma Siddhi 4.77. This sloka comes. It is very important. You can make a note and refer to it. Where Sureshwaracharya addresses Bhagavad as Guruhu Pujyaya Tasmai Namaha iti. Vedantodaravarti Bhaswadamalam. He wanted to tell Acharya that I do Sashtanga Namaskaras to the Guru of all Gurus. An Acharya who is worshipful, who drove away the darkness of samsara with the instrument of logic, because he won over him with the help of logic, right? So Sureshwaracharya rightly recollects it by telling, he drove away the darkness of samsara that was prevailing inside me using the instrument of reasoning, not allowing even an iota of doubt left in me. So indirectly, Sureshwaracharya has answered Padmapada's doubts by telling, there is not an iota of karmakanda or a ritualistic Sureshwara or Mandana Mishra still residing in me. Acharya has totally won over me. The moment he won over me, it means only he is continuing to exist. I don't continue to exist at all. And he did Samarpanam of this Neshkarmya Siddhi, and Acharya rightly passed it over to Padmapada Acharya. Padmapada took the text and read. Days passed, Padmapada Acharya was starting to regret himself. He regretted himself so much that whenever he came across Sureshwaracharya, maybe during the day, night, or evening, whenever, he immediately used to do multiple namaskaras again and again. That regret was so deep. It is sadhu apacharam. See, when you do a sadhu apacharam, even Bhagavan will not save you. That Padmapada knows. So this is not sadhu apacharam at all. But still, they take it that way. See, there was no apacharam here. There was only arjavam here. Padmapada Acharya just spoke what he felt, which was also in the he had the well-being of Advaitam only. What if Sureshwaracharya had an inclination towards Karmakanda left in him? It was a very acceptable doubt that Padmapada had, but now he is regretting it. At the same time, the work that was taken away from Sureshwaracharya was given to Padmapada, and Padmapada Acharya has also composed the introductory part of the Vyakhyana, and he has aptly named it Vijaya Dindima. Okay, it's called Vijaya. All these names are very nice actually. Vijaya Dindima. What happened? Padmapada Acharya would come in the morning daily after the Anhika of Acharya, that is Shankara. He used to read few portions of Vijaya Dindima regularly to Acharya. And immediately what happened? The Acharya saw Padmapada seemed to be very restless. So he asked him, what is it, Padmapada, that you are very restless? He told that I am not able to be in the sight of Sureshwaracharya at all. The doubt that I had in mind and the way in which he answered the doubt, it is all playing a game in my mind. All these were explained to Acharya by Chitsuka. Now, Padmapadacharya himself told that, see, I request you, O Guru, I have now almost completed the tika of the work that you gave me, and I have also read it out to you. Only some portions are left out. I would like to take up a Tirtha Yatra till Rameshwaram and come back. In fact, he wanted to escape the site of Sureshwara. It is not escaping in the Laukika sense. See, if something disturbs you, people normally go on a Tirtha Yatra. It is a greater distraction. Ishvara Darshanam is the biggest distraction from samsara or from any vyakulam that we get. When people are not well, the moment they start to a temple, they go and repent in front of God. By looking into the beauty and opulence of Bhagavan, we might forget the disease that we have even got. So that is what is the solution for the manovyadhi that Padmapadacharya has now developed. The beauty here is in Madhaviyam, you have to read sentence after sentence here in Madhaviyam. Acharya immediately tells by looking at Padmapadacharya, hey Padmapada, is there even a greater kshetram or a tirtham or a tirtha kshetram other than Guru's Charanaravindam? Is there even a place that you have to go rather than staying with me? All tirthas have been visited by you, all kshetras have been visited by you. You stay with me. To which Padmapadacharya immediately told that no, I feel that I have to go on this Tirtha Yatra. To which Acharya replied, Padmapada, having been with you, I have understood now it is not a very good time for you. You will have to stay as close as possible with me alone. Ah, you will have to stay as you will not know what the Guru is saving you from. I used to think of a story when Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was there in Dakshineshwar. Once a great devotee came to see him. One of the devotees from Calcutta saw him, and along with him, one of his servants came. So this servant was called Lota. Okay, he was later called Lota Maharaj only. That name became very famous. So this boy who came with the Yajamana, he was only holding the plate full of fruits and all that. The Yajamana told, submit in front of him. So he just submitted and went away. This Yajamana who came had darshan once and went off. But the servant started coming to Thakur frequently on a daily basis. Some vasana. And one day, Thakur is Ramashna Paramahamsa. Thakur called this Maharaj and told him, what is the route that you take from Calcutta to Dakshineshwar? If you have gone to Dakshineshwar, you'll understand it's quite a distance from Calcutta to Dakshineshwar. Close to 40-50 kilometers, if I'm correct. So he told him, I'll come through this route. Some route he told. Then to which Paramahamsa told, no, don't come, don't take that route. I'll suggest you an alternate route. And then he suggested a route that is like 15 kilometers added to the usual number of kilometers. Without questioning, this devotee started to take the alternate route. And the other devotees, once he left, the other devotees asked, why did you suggest him the alternate route? Which is going to give him a lot of strain traveling here on some good intervals. Why did you do that? To which Paramahamsa told, no. The normal route in which he is, in that particular route, the route in which he is traveling has got a Madhubana shop. Madhubana. This fellow has been a drunkard in the past janmas. The moment he catches hold of that shop, his vasanas will sprout and he'll go in and he'll never come here. I don't want this fellow to get in contact with that shop at all. See, none of this was explained to this Maharaj. He only kept to the words of Acharya. That is his guru. That's all. It is as simple as it can be. Not everything will be explained to us. If you are asked to stay for one more day in Shingeri, you have to stay. If you are asked to stay for one more month, you have to stay. That's all. All other priorities of your life are not important. The primary priority is listening to the Guru words. So, Padmapadacharya, even when advised to stay closer, he spoke more than that to Acharya, telling that, no, no, you have to give me permission. I wanted to go on a Tirtha Yatra. Acharya finally gave Mantrakshata and told, you can go on a Tirtha Yatra. Be very careful. Utter the Bhavan Nama as much as possible. Stay in seclusion. Avoid any new friendship. All the advices he gave, and he started. Padmapadacharya started from Shringeri. First, he came to Shri Kalahasti. He came and had darshana of Parameshwara there, and also the Shiva temple on the top of the hill. And having listened to Acharya writing Shivananda Lahiri, Padmapadacharya rightly told the following sloka in Shri Kalahasti. Margavartita paduka pashupate ankasya kurchayate Gandushambunishetanam puraripogo divyabhishekayate Kinchid bhakshita mamsa sesha kavalam navyopaharayate Bhaktihi kim nakorotyaho vanacharogo bhaktavatam sayate Bhaktihi kim nakoroti. Padmapada kept chanting the same word, Bhakti kim nakaroti. What will Bhakti not do? Or what can Bhakti not do? Just this padam is enough. Bhaktihi kim nakaroti. Margavartita paduka pashupate angasya kurchayate. We all know the story of Kannapanayana. We don't have the time to detail, but Acharya nicely puts together the entire story, the Vidana, the Puja Vidana that Kannappanayana took up, which was not according to the scriptures, but was nomadic in nature. He took water in his mouth and spat on Bhagavan. Kinchit bhakshita mamsa sesha kavalam. He took a bite of mamsa in his mouth and did nivedanam. And Margavartita paduka pashupade angasya kurchayate. He kept his leg on the head of Parameshwara. The story goes like this, but Parameshwara took only the bhava. As Acharya used to refer, bhavagrahi janardanaha iti. Bhavagrahi, bhavan only takes the bhava. He comes to Srirangam. He stayed in Srirangam for quite a time. From Srirangam, he traveled to neighboring temples like Jambukeshwaram, Akilandeshwari. It's a very big temple, actually. People don't note it. Actually, Jambukeshwaram, the temple in Akilandeshwari temple is as big as Srirangam, actually. It's a huge temple. So Acharya came there, again came back to Srirangam and stayed. And Padmapadacharya's Purvashrama uncle came and met him and found that he is wearing vibhuti, the two Tripundra, and he is found that he is taken up the Matha of Advaitam. Unfortunately, his Purvashrama uncle was thoroughly into the Karmakanda Matha propagated by Prabhakara. So in those days, these schools were like literally fighting among one another. They were considered to be rivals. And he spoke to Padmapada in such a way so that he wanted to know what is Bhagavad-padacharya up to. So he told that he has written Prasthanatraya Bhashya and what else is happening in the Advaita Matam. He wanted to know, but in a very good appearance, he's asking all this. What else is your Acharya doing? Can I know? Yes, yes. He has asked me to write a detailed Vartika a work called Vijay Dindima. Is it so? When will I get the bhagyam of looking into it? Don't worry, I have that with me. Padmapadacharya told. Don't worry, I got it with me. He told, can I read it? He opened and read and found it was perfectly in alignment with logic. No Prabhakara Matassa can even stand in front of it with respect to the logic that Padmapadacharya has given to support the Advaita Siddhanta. He told that, let me have this book with me. When you come back from Rameshwaram, I'll hand it over to you. So Padmapadacharya did not know the risk that he is entering into. He gave the Vijay Dindima book to him and started towards Rameshwaram. From Tiruchirappalli, the next stop was at Darbasainam, Tirupullani, as they call it today. From Darbasainam, Padmapadacharya entered Rameshwaram. And the famous definition that Acharya gave in the Rameshwara Anugraha Bhashanam, you have to hear. What is Rameshwaram? Is Rama over Parameshwara or Parameshwara over Rama? Neither. Ramaha, Ishvaraha. We serve both. We serve both. We don't, what do you call, make a Vitpatti telling that Rama is the Lord over Parameshwara or Parameshwara is over Rama. We don't take either of these definitions. For us, we are Advaitis. We consider both Rama and Parameshwara to be equal, to be same. So he had darshan in Rameshwaram and again started his journey back, came back to Srirangam. He was coming back to Srirangam. And this Purvashrama uncle, what he did was, he read Vijay Dindima, and immediately what he did was, he burnt the book. He got the idea of burning the book. Who will believe that if he later conveys to Padmapada, telling that your book was kept in the puja room, suddenly it got burnt? Nobody would believe. So imagine the extreme what people will go to prove their, because of their fanatism that they have developed towards their matha is, he kept the book inside his house and burnt the entire house down. So that now people will believe, no, my whole house got burned down. Unfortunately, your book was also inside, it got burned down. This is what he wanted to convey. Padmapadacharya came to Srirangam and found the entire house was burned down. And he started to console his uncle, Purvashrama uncle, telling that don't worry. More than Padmapada, that uncle was crying. That was the beauty of this. Even Padmapada didn't cry that much. He kept crying, Appa, your Vijay Dindima is lost, Vijay Dindima is lost. No, nothing has lost. Why? The one who has written is here, no? I can rewrite it. And only then it struck to that fellow, how many times I keep burning, what is the use? The person who's written it is right here. So he told, tomorrow come home to have lunch. Everything that Acharya told is happening. Do not have new contacts, don't move with unknown people, stay with satsangam only. Everything he advised. In fact, he advised, stay with me only. He had lunch there. Nobody knows what happened during the lunch or what he ate, what he gave. We don't know any of this. We are not experts in it. So we should not comment. But something bad has happened. That's all. How do you confirm it? Immediately, Padmapadacharya lost his memory with respect to Vijay Dindima totally. He keeps thinking, he keeps trying to recollect. Nothing comes to mind. He is now sitting all alone in Srirangam, where he is not able to recollect anything with respect to Vijay Dindima at all. Now, parallelly, when this is happening in Srirangam, Acharya, along with the other primary disciples, is sitting in Shringeri. Bhashyapatam is going on. Acharya probably sitting in a nice darbhasana. And the other primary disciples were all sitting around Acharya, closely listening, taking notes. Sureshwara, Totakacharya, Hastamalakacharya, Chutsukacharya, Anandagiri, they were all around him. Acharya was probably teaching Brihadaranyaka Upanishad Bhashyam. He was taking a Vakya, doing Vyakhyana, reading his own Bhashya and doing Vyakhyana. Suddenly, Acharya got stuck somewhere. His thoughts got stuck. He was just like that looking at the Akasha. Tears came down from his eyes. All the disciples did not know how to react. Primary Sishyas like Sureshwara approached Acharya and asked what happened. Acharya murmured, my mother's antimam. Amma oda antimam. That's all. The rasam which was flowing through the mouth in interpreting the bhashyas have abruptly stopped there. Acharya just stood up, started walking in Vayu Veham from Shingeri. All the way down, he has to come. Exactly, I'll tell you, 500 kilometers from Kalady to Shingeri. Imagine the speed in which he should have walked. That is why people tell he came in yoga. He used the yogic power. It appeared as though he used his yogic power. That was the speed in which Acharya was walking. Other devotees came running. Acharya was walking, running, walking, running. He came all the way, came to Kalady again, and entered Kalady, his ancestral house, where he has what you call spent his Balyavastha playing with friends like Vishnu, etc. He came back and saw his mother Aryamba lying down, so tired, so aged now she is. The moment he entered the house, Aryamba shouted, oh Shankara, he might be Jagat Guru for the entire world. But for Aryamba, he is her little kid now. When she left the house in 8 years, that was the image that Aryamba should have had in her mind. The moment Acharya entered the house, Aryamba shouted, oh Shankara, have you come? You have kept your word. Amma, Acharya came and Aryamba told that I've been hearing about uh, all the good things that you have been doing. I hear all kings come and surrender in your feet. I even understand that you have re-established temples like Badrinath again. I used to feel very proud about you, hey Shankara. You walked all the way to see me, is it? You've been walking around the country, is it? Then there are so many kings who are doing seva to you. Why can't you take at least a palanquin? Why do you keep walking the earth? A mother will always be a mother, right? At any point of time. To which Acharya cannot reply anything. He can be a great Acharya. He can solve thousands of problems in the families of all his devotees. But in front of his mother, he has to succumb and fall down. That's all. That is Matra Prema. Asking all this, Aryamba's energy level came down. She again, just like that, fell back into the bed. Acharya held her to her arm and asked Aryamba, Ma, what do you want? Wow. Do you think this question will be asked to any of us by Acharya? What do you want? If Acharya supposedly asks this question to you, understand it to be a signed blank check. It is a signed blank check. The next moment you have to tell, I want moksha. That's all. Thank God Aryamba was in such a matured stage of her life. She knew what to ask. Given the potential of who is asking this question, if a Raja is asking this question, probably what can he give? He can give maybe a few houses, maybe a few golden ornaments, this and that. That is what a Raja could give. Who can give you moksha? Thank God Aryamba immediately told Shankara, all these days I've been walking to Rishabhachalam, Vadakkannada. Now I feel like having darshana of him. I have never had sakshatkaram of Vadakkannada. Parameshwara, can I see him? Chandrodbhasita Shekare Smarahare Gangadhare Shankare. सर्पैर्भूषितकण्ठकर्णविवरे नेत्रोत्थवैश्वानरे. Acharya started chanting. The beauty is, it appears to be a chant for us. But for Aryamba, when Acharya started uttering this sloka, she started to have pratyaksha darshanam in front of her. Chandro bhasita shekare smarahare gangadhare ye shankare sarpair bhushita kantakarna vivare netrotthavaishwanare Dante Tvatkrita Sundaram Trailokya Sare Hare Mokshartam Kuruchitta Vritti Mamalan Yaistu Kim Karma Vihi. Acharya had completed, and there was absolute silence there because Aryamba was having Parameshwara Darshanam in front of her. Few moments passed. It was only tears in the eyes of Aryamba. He turned towards Shankara and again asked, Hey Shankara, I have one more wish. What is that? Now I wanted to have darshana of my Mama Ishta Devata Krishna. Because she has understood, you ask this child whatever you want, he is able to show you. Why leave the opportunity? Let me have darshanam of Bhagavan. At the very same, in the very same potency, in the very same tempo, Acharya continued, Kriya Shrishto Vishnu Stira Charana Gurur Veda Vishayo Dhyam Sakshi Shuddho Harirasura Hantab Janayanaha Dadi Shanki Chakri Vimalavana Mali Stira Ruchi Sharanyo Lokesho Mama Bhavatu Krishna Akshi Vishayaha Yatas Sarvam Jatam Vidayadanila Sukam Jagaditam Stitau Nisasesham Yovati Nija Sukam Sena Bahudha Laye Sarvam Swasmin Harati Kalaya Yastu Savibuhu. Acharya continued with the slokam. It was Krishnashtakam. Mama Bhavatu Krishno Akshi Vishayaha. May the one Krishna who is embraced, always embraced by Mahalakshmi, and who is all pervading, who is my core inner self, or who is the core inner self of Satya Asat, both the moving and unmoving objects, who is the import of the Vedas, who is the illuminer of my intellect, one who is ever pure, one who killed the evil, one who had lotus eyes, one who had Gadha, Shankha, Chakra, Vanamali. Let that Krishna always appear in front of me. Again, a few minutes of silence. Aryamba had Sakshatkaram of Krishna also. A few hours passed. Acharya was also in Samadhi Avastha. Aryamba was also in Samadhi Avastha. Slowly into the ears of Aryamba, Acharya started telling Samyak Samadhi Nitarair Vimalantarange Sakshadavekshya Jatatvamapasa Saukyam Santushyate Paramahamsakulai Rajastram Yad Brahma Tattvamasi Kevala Bodhamat Gum. Amma, whatever you see outside is not permanent. Let that be any devata. If you perceive it outside, that is only going to be a vishayam for your indriyas. Samyak samadhi niratair vimalam tarange. That absolute consciousness experienced continuously and directly by Paramahamsas with Shuddha Hridayam, with the pure hearts. And when they are established in Samadhi through deep and say intense self-inquiry or Atma Vichara, and when they figure out that they are Brahman alone, they are that consciousness alone, and realize that Tattvamasi Kevala Bodha Matram. Amma, Tat Tvam Asi. He directly gave the Mahavakyam to the mother. Amma, who was just now had darshan of Parameshwara and Venugopala, is now given the Mahavakyam from directly from the Bhashyakara. Needless to say how her Antimam was. Jagama Atma Samadhina. Just like the Upasana Agni or the Agnihotra Agni, when the Agni Karta has left his body, how the Upasana Agni would slowly come down to rest. Similarly, just like the pure Upasana Agni, Aryamba also slowly settled down, gave up her mortal coil in the Punya Bhumi of Kalady. And Acharya asked for his own words, there cannot be any questioning here. You only listen. If you have the power to listen, listen. That's all. There should be no change in attitude. Acharya did the Antima Kriyas of Aryamba and stayed in Kalady for some time. Atmapadacharya, who was there in Srirangam, who was suffering some sort of memory loss, came running towards Shringeri with the help of his disciples in order to beg Acharya for his pardon, to say sorry that he left him, and to add more fuel to his fire. He came running to Shringeri. Acharya was not there in Shringeri. On enquiry, he understood where is Acharya. Acharya is in Kalady. Again, he's been walking all the way from Tamil Nadu to Karnataka, now from Karnataka to Kerala. That by itself will be 700 kilometers. This is an additional 500 kilometers. Again, he came running towards Kalady. In fact, Acharya stayed in Kalady because knowing Padmapada Acharya will now come running towards him. Just like Rama stayed in Chitrakuta, not going into Dandakaranya. Once Bharata came and took the holy Padukas and went away, Rama told Sita, I know this boy will come running. If I would have entered into Dandakaranya, this boy should have walked more. He has to walk more to see me. That is why I waited here. Similarly, Acharya stayed in Kalady because he knew Padmapada will come running. He came all the way running towards Acharya. Acharya received Padmapada with both of his hands, held him. What happened, Padmapada? Hey, Guru, the moment I did not listen to your words, something bad started to happen to me. I had some Dushta Sangha who belonged to other mathas, who took me by what you call surprise. They burned down Vijay Dindima. Everything is gone. Then Acharya told, you can rewrite it, right? Then Padmapada Acharya told, I don't remember a word. Acharya smiled and told, what is that you don't remember? Bring your paper. Bring your pen. Then Acharya, that is why I told you, after the morning Anhika Darshanam, Padmapada Acharya would come and recite small portions of what is written. No? Acharya dictated it again. Verbatim he dictated. I remember what you told me. I'll give you, just like that gave everything to Padmapadacharya. Padmapadacharya, who is now taking down the dictation, did not even recognize that Acharya has stopped dictating and he has already remembered and is now writing Swachanda. After a few moments, he even recognized that Acharya has stopped dictating. Acharya just like that gave the memory back to Padmapadacharya. This is not a bigger surprise. Wait for something even bigger than this. I hope you remember from day one Upanyasa, there was a king who came and saw Acharya called Rajashekara. I hope you remember. He wrote 3 dramas and gave it to Acharya for Vyakarna Shuddhi. Now he came and told Acharya he has lost all the 3 dramas in his palace. Acharya told, don't worry, I'll dictate it to you. He again dictated. Rajasekara took down all the 3 dramas and went away. Such is the yogic power of Acharya. Padmapadacharya was also given Abhayam. Told Padmapada, never worry. Now let us start again. We'll go on a Vijaya Yatra. And from here they started Vijaya Yatra. They sat down. Acharya told with the help of Rajasekara and some kings like other kings who belonged to the other parts of the country. They all came to Acharya because when their Priya Guru's mother has given away her mortal coil, all the kings thought that it is their responsibility to come and do Dukkha Prashnam to Acharya. But what is there to do Dukkha Prashnam to Acharya? Acharya was ever happy. Just like that, he was ever happy. Now, with the help of all the kings, Acharya planned for a nice Vijaya Yatra from there. Because it is now the responsibility of these kings to clear the path. They'll have to go ahead, do the required things in the kshetrams, arrange for debates with the paramatastas, and debates have to happen, and the Vijaya Yatra has to continue. So Acharya took the permission in the shrine of Aryamba. So having said that, you all have to come to Kalady and have darshan of Aryamba Samadhi, which is right here, which was found by Jagadguru Sachidananda Shwabhinav Prasamma Bharati Mahaswami Swaminaha in the year 1910. When Acharya did Kumbhabhishekam here, he came all the way from Shringeri via Rameshwaram, via Trivandrum to Karumbavur, a village close by. Aryamba went into the Sopnam of this Acharya and told that you have nicely constructed a temple for my child. Don't forget me. I am just there under the tree. He indicated that spot and went. Acharya came here, found the spot, and a nice samadhi is now constructed in the place where the samskara kriya of Aryamba took place. So it is all nicely recorded. When you talk about Bhagavad-Padacharya's Charitram, you cannot skip the 33rd Acharya, because the 33rd Acharya, who is famously known as Abhinava Shankara, played a pivotal role in re-establishing the Charitram, in re-establishing the Granthas, re-establishing the birthplace of Bhagavad Shankara. So now from the shrine of Aryamba, Acharya started. Day one, he started walking towards Rishabhachala, that is Vadakannada Kshetra. That is Halahaleshwara, Lord Parameshwara is there, Rishabhachala. He went there exactly 50 kilometers from Kalady. Acharya went there, had darshana of Rishabhachaleshwara or Vadakannada, and from there Acharya went to Vathapuradinatha, that is today's Guruvayur. Acharya went to Guruvayur Kshetram, and it is told that Acharya stayed for 40 days in Guruvayur and established the complete puja vidhanam of Bhagavan Krishna. After creating the puja vidhanam, he taught the same to the Nambudris who were dedicated for daily puja in the kshetram. Acharya sat inside the Garbhagraha and composed by looking into that Kutti Krishna. Avinaya Mapanaya Vishnu Damaya Manasamaya Vishaya Mrigatriknam Bhutadayam vistaraye Taraya samsara sagarataha Divyadhuni makarande parimala paribhoga sachidanande Shripati padaravinde Bhava bhayakkedachide nande Satya viveda pagame Natha tavagam na mamakeenastvam Samudro hi tarangaha Vachana samudro na tarangaha. Vishnu Shakpati Stotram. Acharya hopefully should have composed it here in Guruvayur. From Guruvayur, Acharya walked approximately close to 320 kilometers from Guruvayur. He walked to Trivandrum. I'm telling you the kilometers then and there because you should understand the distance, you should understand the effort, all for the sake of us. He will not require any of this, but for the sake of devotees who've been residing in all parts of the country, Acharya went on a Vijaya Yatra. Third, Acharya went to Anantasainam, that is Thiruvananthapuram. It was a dense forest. He worshipped Padmanabha, reclining in Adiseshan. In fact, in those days, it should have only be Nrisimha and Tiruvambadi Krishna. According to the Kshetra Mahatmyam, if you see, Ananta Padmanabha Swami came pretty late to the Kshetra. If you have been to Trivandrum, you'll probably recollect what I am trying to tell. The first Kshetradipati of the temple was Nrisimha, who is repeatedly to be understood as Yoga Nrisimha, but on enquiry, you will understand he is Ugra Nrisimha even today. And then you have this beautiful Tiruvambadi Krishna, who is Parthasarathi. Totra Vetraika Panaye, Jnana Udraya Krishnaya, Geetam Mrtaduhe Namaha. For this Dhyana Slokam, this is the Murti in Trivandrum. And third is Anantasainam, that is Padmanabha Swami. And from Padmanabha Swami, Acharya has already come to the lower tip of the country. Now he is going to the lowest tip of the country. He is now standing in Kanyakumari Kshetram, where the Amba is standing there with Japamala in her hand doing tapas towards Parameshwara. He chanted a few stotras in front of Kanyakumari Amba. And from there, he came to a Kshetram called Sindurapuram. Sindurapuram is where Subramanya Swami resides. And it is also told that Acharya had a stomach ache, and having come to this Kshetram and having taken the Patra Vibhuti, when you go to Tiruchendur, this Kshetram is Tiruchendur, a very famous temple called, you will get this prasadam called Patra Vibhuti. In the Patram, the Ela, they will give you Vibhuti. Acharya took the Vibhuti and applied and chanted Mayuradhirudam Mahavakya Gudham Manohari Deham Mahachitta Deham Mahideva Devam Mahadeva Bhavam Mahadeva Balam Bhaje Lokapalam. Subramanya Bhujanga Prayaga. In fact, the Kshetra Mahatmyam tells that Acharya saw a Bhujangam doing puja to the legs of Subramanya, and immediately Acharya composed it in the Bhujanga Vritti. Having had the darshan of Subramanya Swami there, Acharya came running all the way to Tenmadurai. There are two Madura Kshetrams in the country. Mathura, Vadamudurai, meaning the one in the north. Tenmadurai means southern Madurai. He came to the temple of Sundareswara Swami or Meenakshi temple. Sundareswara Swami is considered to be slightly less important in the temple. Meenakshi is the predominant devata. Normally in South India, people used to joke, is it Chidambaram or Meenakshi in your house? Or Madurai in your house? If it is Meenakshi, it is Sri Rajyam. If it is Chidambaram, it is Purusha Rajyam. Yeah? Just on a very lighter vein. Okay. So Acharya came. There is a big shrine for Chokanada Swami. Chokanada in Tamil. In Sanskritam, it is Sundareswara Swami. Bhagavan looks so beautiful. He is called Sundaresa there. But still, everybody calls it Meenakshi. There is Meenakshi Pillai Tamil written. Meenakshi is a very important devata in the southern part of the country. And in those days, Pandya Pandya kings were ruling. Acharya came to Meenakshi temple. Srimat Sundara Nayaki Bayaharam Jnana Pradam Nirmala Gagam Shyama Bham Kamala Sanarchita Padam Narayanasyanu. This Ishta Devata Nishta, no? Wherever you go will continue. While addressing Meenakshi, Acharya calls her, you are the sister of my Devata. Huh? Narayanasyanu Veena Venu Mridanga Vadhya Rasikam Nana Vidadambita Meenakshim Pranatosmi Santatamaham Karunyavaram Nidhim. Acharya, if you have to see, every stotram is like an atom bomb dropping. You cannot go just like that beyond. Here, Acharya composed this slokam in a very rare bhava. Acharya will not express this bhava with every devata. Here you see Vatsalya bhava. Vatsalya bhava means Acharya considers Meenakshi to be her own daughter, his own daughter, and calls Meenakshim Pranatosmi Santatamaham Karunyavaram Nidhim. Shabda Brahmamayi Characharamai Jyotirmayi Vangmayi Nityanandamayi Niranjanamayi Tattwamayi Chinmayi Tattvatitamayi Paratparamayi Mayamayi Shrimayi Sarvaishwaryamayi Sadashivamayi Mampayi Meenambike Mate Mampayi Meenambike. Acharya and me, both of us are not able to go beyond the Madurai Kshetra. Somehow Acharya has to go ahead now, by now. Now imagine in the streets of Madurai, Acharya is walking. Just behind Acharya, Sureshwara, Padmapadacharya, Hastamalakacharya, Thotakacharya, Chuchukacharya, Amitpani Acharya, Chidlila Acharya, Jnanaskandacharya, Vishnudattacharya, Suddhikari, Brahmanuchari, Krishna Darshana, Baddhavirinchi, Padashuddhananda, Anandagiri. Ah, something that I can remember, I am telling. All sannyasis just following Acharya. Acharya is walking, devotees behind are just chanting Shankara, Rakshamam, Sharade Parima. Nicely through it to all the streets of Madurai, people are following. All the way from Madurai, Acharya walked all the way till Rameshwara Kshetra. Now we have an expert in the yatra because Padmapadacharya has already had darsana in Rameshwaram. No, Padmapada is guiding. So Padmapadacharya goes in front and Acharya follows. There, having had darshan of Bhagavan Ramanatha Swami, Raghuvira Padanyasa, Pavitri Kritapam Save, Dashakanta Sirascheda Hetave, Setave Namaha, Setave Ramachandrasya, Moksha Margika Hetave, Sitaya Manasamboja Bhanave, Setave Namaha. Acharya should have had the darshanam of Sethu. It was laid by Ramachandra there. Rameshwaram Ramakrita Pratishtam Kameshwari Bhushita Vamabhagam Mahendra Nilojwala Mutkiritam Bhameshwaram Twamihe Pujayami. Acharya is after Kanyakumari only. Acharya is in Tamil Nadu, Kanyakumari, Madurai, Rameshwaram. Acharya has traveled all the way till Rameshwaram. From Rameshwaram, Acharya is now traveling towards the north of Tamil Nadu. Acharya came to a kshetram called Chidambara Kshetram and told Padmapadacharya to praise Bhagavan with a stotram. Immediately, Padmapadacharya chanted Sadanchita Mudhanchita Nikunchita Padam. Probably he should have chanted a verse from Natarajastava, composed by sage Patanjali himself. Such a nice stotram it is. You have to read. Patanjali Gananjala Mananjana Matanjana Padam Janana Bhanjana Karam. You can actually dance to this stotram nicely. If you are a dancer, then you can try dancing. From there, Acharya came to a kshetram called Madhyarjuna Kshetram. Madhyarjuna Kshetram is a place very close to Kumbakonam in Tamil Nadu, hardly 13 to 15 kilometers from Kumbakonam. Acharya has resided there. Has resided there for a few days, it seems. A group of Saiva Siddhantis came to meet Acharya there, had darshan, and entered into an argument. And Acharya told that this is Advaitam. Acharya explained. And they also explained their own matha. And after all that, they were convinced that Advaitam is Satyam. There is no doubt. But at the end, they told, hey, Acharya, all these years we've been worshipping our Ishtadevata, Parameshwara. I understand logically what is correct and all that. But if my Parameshwara recommends, I will follow it. Otherwise, nothing doing. Then, surprisingly, something happened. Acharya sat in front of Madhyarjuna Swami. The name of the Murti is Mahalinga Swami. Very big temple. You have to come and see. Madhyarjuna Kshetra, Mahalinga Swami. Acharya sat in front of Mahalinga Swami on strike. This is the first strike in history. Okay, he told, I will not continue my Vijay Yatra. I will sit down here unless you come and accept the fact that your matam is Advaitam. You come and do Upadesha for all. They are all your devotees, right? You come and do Upadesham. Tvatpadaambujam paramam tvam chintayam anvayam anvaham. Twamisham sharanam vrajami vachasa twameva vacho twameva yache vibho. Vikshame disa chakshushim sakarunam divyaistiram prarthithaham shambho lokaguro madiya manasaha saukyopadesham kuru. Swanandalagari 29th slokam. Saukyopadesham kuru. Hey Parameshwara, these people who are Saiva Siddhantis, who are devoted to you, they wanted to hear your advice. Why don't you come here and give your advice? From here, I'll tell you something. Digest it, if you can. Acharya sat in total Nilvikatpa Samadhi in front of Mahalinga Swami. And in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Acharya had Sakshatkaram of Parameshwara. And in the Sakshatkaram of Parameshwara, he immediately thought of the devotees who are awaiting his grace. This is a yogic power where in your Samadhi, when you are having Sakshatkaram, if you think of somebody, Bhagavan will appear in their Anubhavam. This is how Guru can give you Sakshatkaram. Guru can give you. So this is a totally Yoga Margam. Acharya took this Yoga Margam because they have to get the advice soon. So Atmalingam, the Parameshwara, who is in the form of their own Atma inside, when they were also meditating on Parameshwara, appeared from their heart and told them, Yan matam advaitam. It's a very famous word in Tamil Nadu. You have to come to the temple and see. Acharya verbatim told, Yan matam, meaning my matam, is advaitam. The moment Acharya told this, everybody accepted. And Acharya started his journey again from Advaita. See, I'm talking about lakhs and lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of people getting converted or accepting Advaitam. It is not conversion, it is acceptance. From that kshetram, Acharya traveled through the villages, through the cities. Wherever Acharya goes, a group of people would come there, probably hundreds in numbers. Then Acharya would stop there for a moment and just like that give them an advice and start. The moment he sees a big crowd, Acharya will immediately utter a slokam, probably Balastavat Krida Shaktaha Tarunastavat Taruni Shaktaha Vriddhastavat Chinta Taha parame brahmani kopi nasa taha bhajago. I started to walk. Bhajago vindam. Bhajago vindam govindam bhajamudamate. And another village would come. People would their group will immediately surround Acharya. Acharya will immediately stand there and immediately give them an advice. Yavat pavano nivasati dehe tavat prichati kushalam gehe. One line advice, that's all. They'll have to grasp the essence. Acharya gave such advices and kept walking. And kshetram after kshetram, Acharya kept passing by. And in one kshetram, one sadhaka came. You have done a lot of upadeshas. You have written the Prasthanatraya Bhashya. You have written everything. But I am not able to follow all. I am an idiot. I don't have the ability to follow the Bhashya, Tattvabodha, Atmabodha. Nothing comes to me. Don't worry, told Acharya. I'll give you only one. What? Kim jyotistava bhanumana hanime ratrau pradipadikam syadevam ravidipadarshana vidau kim jyotirakhyahite. चक्षुस्तस्य निमीलनादिसमये किं दीर्घ्यो दर्शने किं तत्राहमतो भवान् परमकं ज्योतिस्तदस्मि प्रभो. Acharya came to Srirangam. It can be inferred that Acharya should have stayed at least for 2 to 3 months in Srirangam. Don't tell me how did I know. Okay, don't ask how did I know. I'm just inferring. From where are you inferring? Ananda Rupe, Nija Bodha Rupe, ye Brahmaswarupe, Shruti Murti Rupe, Shashanka Rupe, Ramaniya Rupe, Sri Ranga Rupe, Ramata Manomi, Satchitta Shayi, Bhujagendra Shayi, Nandanga Shayi, Kamalanga Shayi, Hirabdishayi, Vatapatrashayi, Srirangashayi, Ramata Manomi. In one of the stanzas, Acharya writes, Srirangavase Ramata Manomi. So he should have lived there, correct? I am not randomly inferring. So Acharya writes, Srirangavase Ramata Manomi. Only Srirangavasis will understand, especially the Utsava Parampara of Srirangam. That is something. We travel all the way from here to Srirangam to see Ulpatti Velipattu Utsavam of Ranganatha Swami. A beauty to be beheld. Ranganatha's Utsava Murti, that too the Vaishnava Parampara that they have starting from Ramanujacharya. Not one thing has got added, one thing has got subtracted. It is exactly how that Acharya established it. It is coming down. A Sampradayam has to be appreciated to be followed to the to the down to the textbook as defined by their purvacharyas. They follow it even now. You cannot even see as they do in other kshetras where they keep a 1,000 watts light in front of the Swami. No, during the Prapada, when the Swami comes out in Srirangam, you see there only be two devotees. Devotees, two strands of what you call light that they'll carry. In that you have to see Bhagavan. That's all. There is no Nadaswaram. There will be something called Vattpakut. They call in Tamil dum, dum, dum. That's all. That is the Vadyam. For thousands of years, they keep following the same. Acharya should have stayed there. Acharya should have witnessed all the Utsavas. Okay, I'm just looking at Ranganatha through the eyes of Acharya. That's all. Again, there were Vadas also happening. The actual reason is there are a few people with whom argument has to be done. Both the Vaikhanasa and Pancharatra Parampara followers came to Acharya and argued their Vaishnava Paksha. Acharya gave them the understanding of Advaitam. Advaitam is not against you following any Sampradayam. It is talking about the absolute nature of yourself. So you do anything, you follow any Sampradayam, understand this at last, because the Shrutis declare there is no other way. You cannot bypass this Sampradayam. You will have to realize your real nature. Acharya stood his stand stood by his theory, argued with them, and from there Acharya went to Jambukeshwaram, had darshanam of Jambunatha Swami. And even in Jambukeshwara Kshetram, there were many disciples who came and argued with Acharya. Acharya gave them nice answers because the Sola Desam, this is called Sola Desam in Tamil Nadu. Sola Desam is pretty famous for Saiva Siddhanta Sampradaya. All the temples, even now, Saiva Siddhantam is followed to a very great extent. And traveling through the depths of Tamil Nadu, Acharya came to Arunachala Kshetram, where the Parvatam itself is Parameshwara himself. Chitram Vatatharo Varmule Vruddha Sishya Gurur Yuva Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Sishtastu Chinnasam Sayam. Acharya was Dakshinamurti himself there in Arunachalam. He sat under a nice tree, had one leg over the other. All the devotees, primary four disciples sat under Acharya. Acharya had Chin Mudra and immediately started reciting Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantargatam Pashyan Atmani Mayaya Bahirivodbhutam Yata Nidraya Yes, Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swa Atmanameva Dvayam Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Nama Idam Shri Dakshina Murtaye. From there, Acharya went to Kalahasti. From there, he went to Tirumala. He had darshanam of Srinivasa. He came down. Now, this part of Tamil Nadu is called Tondai Mandalam. He came to a kshetram called Sri Kanchipuram, where all the three primary deities live. All the three primary. Kanchipuram is a kshetram unparalleled. Nagareshu Kanchi. So, Acharya had darshanam of Ekambranatha, one of the Panchabhuta Sthalam, Kamakshi Devi, and Varadaraja Swami. Varadaraja Swami is particularly close to our hearts. The Utsava Murti of Varadaraja Swami is called Perarulalam in Tamil. Acharya had darshanam of all the Trimurtis, and when having darshanam of Ambal there, Acharya found the Ugra Rupam of Amba and gave instructions to those people telling that there has to be a Shri Chakram that has to be carved in front of Ambal. On an auspicious day, Acharya went inside the sanctum sanctorium. On all the sides of the sanctum, nice ghee lights were lighted. Acharya sat, not completely sitting down. If you have seen how Jens sit down to do Achamaniyam, like that Acharya sat down and gave directions to Padmapada and Hastamalaka Totakacharya inside the sanctum to draw the Sri Chakram. Acharya held his hand and told, this line has to be 30 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 80, 70 degrees, 90 degrees. These are the other Sishyas were, what do you call, they got bewildered. Looking into the Tantra Shastra Jnanam of Acharya, everything comes out when there is a requirement for it. Until there is a requirement, nothing would be exhibited. Acharya drew the Shri Chakram, Kanchyam Shri Chakra Yantarstapana Dikshitaya Namaha. As we tell in the Stotram, there were huge debates that took place in Kanchi. In fact, according to Madhaviya Shankara Vijayam, the entire Kanchipura Kshetram was designed and reconstructed by Acharya. The way in which all the temples are placed, the temple town of South India, both Kumbakonam and Kanchipuram have got this fame. Acharya should have stayed at least for a few months in Kanchipuram because all the three devatas have got their share of stotras from Acharya. And from there, Acharya started his journey towards the upper part of South India, namely to Andhra Pradesh. And there a few groups of Kapalikas again came to Acharya. And some of them fought with Acharya, some of them argued with Acharya, some of them surrendered to Acharya, given their Vasana Shakti. Especially to name, there was a famous Bhairava called Krakata Bhairava. If you can remember, otherwise don't bother. Only for Upanyasakas, we have to remember all the names. For others, it is only listening, especially when we tell Ramayana, Mahabharatam, especially the Yuddha Kandam, we'll have to remember all the Rakshasas' names. Whenever I used to mug up, I used to remember at least Rama's side, all names that we remember, at least Punyam will come. In Rakshasa side, Maindan, Dvidan, Surichatru, Indrashatru, Kumbhodaran, Kumbhan, Nikumban, all these names we have to remember. Similarly, here also, Krakacha, this Bhairava's name we have to remember, but you can just listen. So all these Bhairavas came. There are big stories here, and especially one person called Unmatta Bhairava came. See, Krakacha Bhairava, Unmatta Bhairava, and at a point he got converted to Acharya's thing. Few of them who did not understand the teachings of Acharya, they just sacrificed their life, it seems. Since they were so emotionally driven that all these years they've been following something. Now, when somebody comes and tells it is all wrong, and that too when they are able to prove it, having looked into all these Bhairavas and these followers, Acharya thought that to be born in a nice family which are devoted to an Acharya, which are following the Vaidika Sampradayam, wow, what a blessing that is. Because there are people belonging to all these clans, but among them, how can I forget the good fortune of people? So Acharya immediately composed Tad Jnanam Prashamakaram Yadindriyanam Tad Yad Upanishatsu Nischitaartam Te Dhanya Bhuvi Paramartha Nischite Seshastu Brahmanilaye Paribhramanti. Acharya, if you have to go through the details of this slokam, listen to the Palamada Upanyasam of Acharya. Acharya would have taken this, Mahasanidhanam would have taken up this slokam. This is the first slokam from Dhanyashtakam, and would have told who is a Dhanya. By looking into all the other followers, Acharya immediately thought, I'll have to define who is a Dhanya first. So, who are following the margam of the Upanishad are only Dhanyas. And then few Charvakas came who had their own thought process. Charvaka, when you hear to them, no, you will love hearing to them. That is the problem actually. They'll tell you, you don't have to get up early in the morning. You don't have to take bath in the morning. You don't have to do japa. Eat whenever you feel like eating. Bath when the body stinks only. Suddenly, if you feel the body is stinking, go take bath. Otherwise, don't take bath in the morning and all. All this is waste of time. So even for this 10 seconds, something you something you might have felt something soothing, no? You suddenly somebody is coming, don't take bath on time, don't do puja, don't do japam. Ne? Immediately, if you have love to this, meaning Charuvak, he'll talk to you in such a way so that it will be loving and pleasing. Then Acharya from there started to enter into Andhra Pradesh, core deep Andhra Pradesh, probably in the banks of Godavari, probably in near a place called Rajamahendrapuri or Rajamundri. Acharya stayed for some time in the banks of Godavari, and Acharya was sitting under a tree and was murmuring something. Padmapadacharya, who was always keen, could have gone near and noted down. Acharya recited न दृष्टिलक्ष्याणि न चित्तबन्धो न देशकालो न च वायुरोधः न धारणाध्यानपरिश्रमो वा समेधमाने सतिराजयोगे अहं मम त्वाद्यपहाय सर्वम् श्रीराजयोगे स्थिरमानसानाम् न द्रष्टृता नास्ति च दृश्यभावः साजृम्भते केवलसंविदेव नेत्रे ययोन्मेषनिमेषशून्ये वायुर्यया वर्जितरे च पूरः मनश्च संकल्प विकल्पशून्यम् मनोन्मनीषा मयि सन्निधत्ताम् मनोन्मनीषा मयि सन्निधत्ताम् नेत्रे ययोन्मेषनिमेषशून्यम्. Only for the third sloka, I'll give you meaning and go ahead. Acharya describes the dhyana. This is an essence of the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. You compare and do your homework. Okay. What Bhagavan gives you in sixth adhyayam in Gita, Acharya gives you in this stotram, which is very less quoted. This stotram is called Yoga Taravali. Not stotram, it's a work called Yoga Taravali. Acharya describes his yoga sthiti, his own yoga sthiti, where the eyes remain half closed. Netre yayonmesha nimesha sunyam. The wandering nature of eyes has come to still. My eyes now remain half closed and still. Vayuryaya varjita recha puraha. Varjita meaning where there is no flow of breath. Even the breath has come to still. And manascha sankalpa vikalpa sunyam. Now the mind is devoid of any thought or any image. Manascha sankalpa vikalpa sunyam. This state of yoga is called manonmanisa maisan nidhattam. Manonmanisa maisan nidhattam. Chittendriyanam chiranigrahena swasa prachare samite yatindraha. Nivata deepa iva nischalangaha manonmani magna dhiya bhavanti. Manonmani magna dhiyo bhavanti. Padmapadacharya, Hastamalaka, Sureshwaracharya, who are now looking at Acharya from a distance, are talking to themselves. Is that Acharya sitting there? Or is that a chitrapatam of Acharya? Is that an image of Acharya? Or is that actually Acharya sitting there? Nivata Deepa Ive. Nivata Deepa Ive, meaning the Jwalanam Deepam. Nowadays, what people do is they'll put a glass cover over a Deepam, no? So when you do that, the Deepam inside would not have any chalanam. It will be there so static there. Nivata deepa iva nischalangaha manonmani magnadiyo bhavanti. Now the mind has become like a lamp that glows in a windless space. This is Acharya is defining. This yogic state is called manonmani. Manonmani is the state that is where you get totally absorbed in the inner self. Manonmani sa mayi sannidhattam. Manonmani sa mayi sannidhattam. Because I felt I am just running with Acharya throughout the country. Somewhere I have to give him some rest, right? Probably in the Theorem of Godavari, Ragamendrapuri, Acharya did some dhyanam. Otherwise, continuous camp is going on. So no time to rest at all. Acharya is rushing. So from Rajamahendrapuri, probably Acharya did a lot of Vedanta Upadesha to the people there. And from there, Acharya came to Jagannathapuri. Jagannathapuri, uh, Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatume. A very famous slokam Acharya composed there. Even today, when you go to Jagannathapuri, people show there a place in Jagannathapuri. They tell this is where Bhagavad Acharya had darshan of Jagannatha. Acharya had the darshan of Ratha Yatra, probably, where Acharya describes in the Jagannatha Ashtakam, Radha Sarasa Alingana Vapushukaha Jagannatha Swami Nayana Padagami Bhavatime. It has to be Balarama, Krishna, Subhadra. But Acharya did not have that darshan. He is describing what he saw. He saw Radha and Krishna doing Alinganam and sitting there or standing there. Radha Sarasa Alingana Vapusukaha. Jagannatha Swami, hey Jagannatha, you always keep remaining in my heart. Acharya now comes to the Magadha Desha. In Magadha Desha, there were a lot of opposite sects of people who came for argument. People do Upasana of Kala, people do Upasana of Kubera, people do Upasana of Yamadharmaraja. All those people come. Acharya tells all their Siddhanta has got an end towards it. It is none like Advaita Sampradaya. Talking all the way, Acharya again comes back to Kashi. Second time, Acharya comes to Kashi. Okay. I've already described the love for Kashi in the hearts of Acharya. So this time it has to be a very short trip. We don't have time for Acharya doing Ganga Snanam, Vishwanatha Archana, Ashtaka Mandal. We don't have time. From Kashi, Acharya travels towards Dwaraka. Panchadwaraka, Acharya has darshan. Natadwara, a specific place, especially to remember, that is where Mirabai went and joined inside the shrine of Bhagavan, inside the temple of Dwaraka only, Mirabai attained her moksham. So Acharya had darshan there. And from there, Acharya traveled, and there was a king called Amaruka who tried to attack Acharya through another means, which I don't want to go into the details. We always have to stick to the original thing, that we should be able to meditate again and again. And all other things I'm trying to avoid. So Amaruka again does some apachara and gets back the pala for that. That is what I wanted to tell. And Acharya travels again towards Krishna Ganga and other kshetras. Now slowly Acharya is going towards the north, that is towards Kashmir. People come there and tell that there is a Peetham there in Kashmir called Sarvajna Peetha, where that Peetham, it has got 4 entries representing each direction of the country. A Brahmajnani who has got an origin from that particular direction has to enter the Sarvajna Peetha through that direction. So there it is not a joke. It is a very serious thing, because Kashmir in those days was a Vidya Kendram, just like Kashi, just like Paitan, just like Mysore. It was a Vidya Kendram. So all the what you call the heads of all the matas, like Charvaka, Bauddha, Jaina Mata, they were all waiting Acharya there. So Acharya went there, sat with debate for everyone, gave audience to everyone. It took months and months to compromise, to make everybody convince them with the idea of Advaita. At the end, it was told that Devi Sharada herself will question. Acharya has to take snanam there in the lake. Today, we have this in POK. We don't have access to it. But with the help of Acharya, we now have a new temple in Kashmir. But still, we understand that this temple is now today in POK. That is the temple that I am describing. So Acharya goes there in Asharira Rupa. Sharadamba has not directly come, but in Asharira Rupa, she questions Acharya. Acharya gives the apt answers to Ambal. And then Ambal declared it, you are a Sarvajna iti. Then the door representing the southern part of the country opened up. Acharya entered, just like Ramachandra Prabhu sat in the Bhadravedi asana. Similarly, Acharya sat in the Sarvajna Peetha, just like Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, Vibhishana, Sugriva all did kainkariam to Acharya. Similarly, Padmapadacharya and Hastamalakacharya had chamanam in their hand. Sureshwaracharya and Hastamalakacharya had chamanam in their hand. Padmapadacharya would always take the Padamulam of Acharya, just like Hanuman sitting under Rama. Padmapadacharya took the Sri Charanas of Acharya. Totakacharya, etc., were doing Kainkariam like Chatra Kainkariam, two taking up the Chamaras, one in the Patapitam, one taking up the Chatram, that is the umbrella. Acharya gave Divya Darshanam to all the devotees who have gathered there. And it was not for the wish of Acharya, but it is for the wish of all the devotees. Acharya ascended the Sarvajna Peetham there. And then the Utsavam was over. Acharya departed from Kashmir, slowly walked toward the capital of Kashmir, that is Srinagar, and heard about a temple dedicated to Ambal there in Kashmir. Acharya went there. It was it was so cold that nobody was able to travel along with Acharya in Kashmir. It was well appreciated by Acharya also, because Acharya was also wanting some solitude. So Acharya sat down in the Devi Kshetram in the Srinagar, in the Sri Kshetram. Nobody disturbed Acharya. In one of the mantapas, Acharya was absorbed in Atma Samadhi. Only few disciples like Padmapadacharya were allowed closer. No other general crowd was allowed. In solitude, Acharya slowly started uttering few verses. Probably some devotees who were closer by would have taken it down. On closer observation, it was found that Acharya was chanting. Padmapada Acharya had his ears so close to the mouth and heard Shivashaktya yukto yedi bhavati shakta prabhavitum nache devam devo. Acharya chanted Saundarya they are sitting in Kashmir. Without Ambal, even Parameshwara cannot move one step ahead. Manastvam, Vyomatvam, Marudasi, Marutsarate, Rasi. Agar I composed Saundarya Lahari. It is told that 41 slokas were found from Kailasa, rest was composed by Acharya. According to the Sampradaya, however, it has to be understood, you can consider them. Acharya completed Saundarya Lahari and was walking in the snow-capped mountains of Kashmir. And Acharya also had darshanam of Takshashila, Jwalamukhi, etc. And on the way, Acharya had darshanam of a great yogi on the way. The moment Acharya found this yogi, he told he wanted to have darshanam of this yogi separate, so other devotees did not follow. The yogi who appeared was Gaudapada Acharya, who was Acharya's Paramaguru, Guru's Guru. He told, "O child Shankara, your avatara kalam has come to an end. Your avatara karyam is also completed. You have done enough to the world. You've written enough stotras. You've written enough bhashyas, which means you have done your role. Now the ball is in the listener's court. It is now their job for the entire life to take up and study the works of Bhagavad Acharya and attained Paragati in the same Janma only, as much as possible." So Acharya got this Divya Ajna and understood that his avatara kalam is coming to an end. And from there on, Acharya, whenever he used to meet people, he used to give them crisp and clear upadeshas. He met a young set of scholars, probably from a village there, and immediately told them, Vedanta vakyeshu sadaramantaha dikshanna matrena chatushtimantaha vishokamantah karane charantaha Kopinavantah kalubhagyavantah. See, I have given out everything. I am now totally dispassionate about everything that I have accumulated. See how joyful I am. How joyful I am. The more you accumulate, the more you are going to suffer. The more you live, okay, the more you do dana, that is actually converting into punya and it is actually following you. So don't accumulate. Give back a lot. Don't look what you can take back. Look into what you can give. Such upadeshas has started to drop from the mouth of Acharya. The upadesha is becoming more crisp and crisp. Acharya now started to walk again towards Kedar Kshetram. Slowly Acharya walked towards Kedar. Again it was pure winter it should be. There also Acharya saw a group of devotees. Acharya gave them an upadesha. Vedo nityamadhiyatam tadudita karmaswanushtiyatam teneshasya vidhiyatam apachiti kamye matistyajyatam papaughah paridhuyatam bhavasuke doshonusandhiyatam atmecha vyavasiyatam nijagrihati turnam vinirgamyatam. Upadesha Panchakam. Acharya gave this to them. And towards Kedar is now the yatra has again started. The disciples have understood that Acharya is slowly going towards Kedar and trying to settle down there. Acharya told the disciples that the important kshetras that we have come across, especially the one in Badrinath Kshetram, especially the one in Puri, where they had darshanam of Jagannatha, in Dwaraka, where they had darshanam of Srinath, And in Shingeri, where they did Pratishta Kumbhabhishekam of Sharadamba, you take these places, you settle down there, and then you start teaching the Advaita Sampradayam to all the devotees who are going to come. There has to be a lineage, because the doubts that we clarified are for the ones who are contemporary to us. For all the coming days, people who are going to gain a lot of doubts, we'll have to settle it for them also. We just like that cannot leave by telling, I have done my job for today. So institutionalization can look a bit difficult from the outside, but that is necessary. Without that, Vidya will not get properly propagated. So Acharya did this for the sake of for the sake of us. Now Acharya is in Kedara Kshetram. All the people who have been kept there for puja and Badri and Kedar, they came to Acharya and told, it is very cold here. We are not able to follow the Vaidika acharas also here. Now, we know that we are doing a lot of, what do you call, going beyond the Vidhi here. So kindly give us a stotram that we can chant, so that we can at least confess to Parameshwara that we are doing wrong. Acharya immediately uttered, Adho karma prasangate kalayati kalusham matrukukshau sthitam mam विन्मूत्रा मेध्य मध्ये कथयति नितरां जाटरो जातवेदाः यद्यद्वै तत्र दुःखं व्यथयति नितरां शक्यते केन वक्तुं क्षन्तव्यो मे पराधः शिव 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 भोः श्रीमहादेव शम्भो. See, whatever you do, you offer it to Bhagavan only. Yadyat karma karomi tattat agilam shambho tavaradhan. Otherwise, right from the day you are born, you are doing only papa karmas. You have not listened to the words. Last janma, you have missed the opportunity. That is why you are born now. And now don't miss the bus. Don't miss the bus. So better sit down, reflect on your surupam, reflect on the Vedanta Vakyas, and give up your Jiva Bhava and accept the Brahmi Bhava. As told in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, last slokam, Acharya remind in the Brahmi Bhava, Shishyas like Padmapada Acharya, Sureshwara Acharya, Thotaka Acharya, Astamalaka, though they were all Advaitins, though they were all realized souls, but when the Shariram of Acharya is getting lost, which Shishya can accept it? Nobody can accept it. So the Ghatakasam is now coming to an end, and Mahakasam is going to continue. That they cannot accept. They even wept, and Acharya told there is no need to keep, what do you call, to worry. I am, who was available in this body is now going to be available everywhere. I will be available in the form of my bhashyas. Then Padmapadacharya asked for a good set of scholarly people. What is that you advise at last? Give us an essence. Acharya immediately told, Na bhumir na toyam na tejo na vayuhu na kam nendriyam va na tesham samuha अनेकान्तिकत्वात् सुषुप्त्यैकसिद्धस्तदेको वसिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम्. You have to observe, this was probably the first Vedanta Grantham that he wrote. At last he gives the same as the essence, which means there is no gradation in him. Age 8, he composed Dasashloki. Age 32, he declares the same Dasashloki as the essence, which means he was 30% jnani in the age of 8. He became 70% jnani in 25. He became 80% jnani. Now he is now suggesting a better Grantham, something that he wrote very, what you call, recent, nothing. Age 8, what he has attained till age 32, he was the same. Only the body grew. But Shankara remained to be Shankara only. Then Padmapadacharya told, give the Upadesam. If you have to give an Upadesam for the entire world, what will you do? What will you give? Then Acharya told, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jatare Shayanam, Iha Samsare, Bahutustare, Kripaya Pare, Pahi Murare. कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे भज गोविंदम भज गोविंदम. Acharya gave Bhajagovinda Stotram for the Atmajnanis, for the Jignasus, for the Aurukshus. Acharya gave the Dasashloki. Acharya has not left out anybody. For the beginners, Acharya gave the Stotras. For the ones who are not beginners but not expert, he gave the Prakaranas. For the ones who are very closer to Atmajnana, he gave the Bhashyas. Acharya gave Upadesha to all. He cannot be confined into one community, he cannot be confined into one religion. He is truly, as the word is uttered, he is a true Jagat Guru. He had the vision of national integration. He had the vision of unity in diversity. Everything that you talked today is all available in Shankara Digvijayam alone. You can derive all of this from Shankara Digvijayam alone. It was indeed a great bhagyam for us that in accordance with the Shankara Jayanti, the Vaishakha Shukla Panchami that we are going to celebrate on the 21st of April, we had this great fortune of listening to the Shankara Vijayam through Madhaviya Shankara Vijayam and through the Prakarana and the Bhashyam of Acharya only. It was a great blessing for me. There are a lot of people who have worked behind this. The reason I don't utter their names, or they'll not feel happy if I utter their names. They'll even probably scold me, telling that why did you utter my name? But I pray to Acharya that whoever has contributed to make the satsangam possible, Acharya's blessing should be there for all. And for all the shrotas, close to 300 people have listened it on an average for all the 7 days. And let the Kanakadhara Vrishti pour in the houses of all these 300 people. And let us all celebrate Shankar Jayanti just like we celebrate Deepavali, just like we celebrate Kritika, just like we celebrate Krishna Jayanti, Gokulashtami, Ramanomi, how grand it is. In every house, it has to be as grand as Deepavali. Have this in mind. On 21st of April, your neighbors should know that there is some festival in your house. Have this in mind. Whether you will bust crackers or you light Deepa, whatever you do, I don't know. But 21st of April should be a grand festival in the country, at least in the devotees of Shankara Bhagavad Acharya. This accept this what do you call small request from my side from Kalady. So I submit this Upanyasa bhagyam that was given to me in the lotus feet of my Guru Jagat Guru Shri Shri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswaminaha, who is blessing all of us from Shringeri, who is again in the same Brahmi Sthiti in which Acharya was there in Kedara Kshetram. There in Kedara Kshetram, Acharya gave away the mortal coil, all, or he just, he call it Antardhana, that's all. He just was not available for us in Kedara Kshetram, but our Mahasanidhanam is available for us. Rush to Shringeri, wait for the Chandramuleshwara Puja, and wait for the darshanam after the puja. All the Vedanta Vakyas that we have heard in the 7 days, if all these Vakyas have taken a Rupam, that is our Mahasanidhanam sitting there, in the Brahmi Sthiti, Shankara who is available for us, so have his darshan as frequent as possible. Go and do Namaskaram in front of him as frequent as possible. Do not miss the opportunity. With this, I conclude my Upanyasam. I do Upasamharam of this Upanyasam. We will soon meet in another satsangam with the grace of Bhagavan Bhashyakara. Hara Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara Mahadeva. Sadguru Maharaj ki jai.